Ross, thanks so much. Great to be with all you dudes. And it is just wonderful to see the incredible excitement just over the last week and a half, this outpouring of enthusiasm and sudden interest in engaging and getting involved is really going to carry the day for us in November. And so I'm just thrilled to join you. And please go ahead, interrupt my speaking, press that button, take time to press that button, smash that button, contribute, make sure you do your part as we're all trying to do to make sure that Kamala Harris is successful in November. I just want to take a moment to share a few thoughts on what's at stake here. All of us on this Zoom grew up in the post-World War II period when we saw around the world new democracies being born. We saw walls coming down. We saw freedoms expand at home and abroad. We saw the ability to freely associate with whom we would, practice our faith, love whom we would love. And we came to believe that this was somehow inexorable, like a law of gravity, that the world was ever democratizing, ever becoming more progressive and liberal, only to discover, much to our shock, that there's nothing inevitable, nothing inexorable about this. And in fact, that every generation, as it would turn out, has to struggle to preserve democracy. Thank God we don't have to go to war like our parents or grandparents' generation had to. Thank God that all we need to do is get ourselves to the polls to make sure that we get out and vote, that we get our neighbors out to vote, that we get our kids out to vote, that we participate in our democracy. We are all going to have to answer to the generations come after, what did we do when our democracy was at stake? We have in Donald Trump someone who could give a damn about our institutions, our democracy, who only cares about himself. Somebody who says he wants to be a dictator on day one. Someone who says if you vote for him now, you never have to vote again. How in hell can that guy be a candidate for anything in this country? Someone who incited a violent attack on the Capitol, someone who wants to pardon all those criminals, someone who's a criminal himself. And I'll tell you how this is possible, because I've seen this in the halls of Congress, and that is he has so many enablers, so many people willing to go along with him in the pure desire to further their ambition. People like J.D. Vance, who recognized him as a potential Hitler, who described him as a cultural opioid, who said he was unfit for office, now rushing to be a partner in that unfit ticket. Robert Carroll, the historian, once said that power doesn't corrupt as much as it reveals. Well, power's revealed a lot about people like J.D. Vance and Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy and so many others willing to sacrifice everything they said they once believed in, all on the altar of their ambition and gaining power. But we have the ability to reinforce and strengthen and preserve our democracy. We have the ability to make an incredible woman the president of the United States. We have the ability to restore reproductive freedom. We have the ability to reform the Supreme Court. All of this we can do. All of this we can do within less than 4 months. Hit that button again. Take a moment, hit that button again. We have less than 4 months. And here's the thing. These have been heavy times. These have been difficult times, I think, on all of us. And you've heard so many of the prior speakers talk about all the challenges that we've been through in this country. But we are going to get through this. This too shall pass. We are an incredibly resilient country. We have beautiful, patriotic people in every state of the union. This too shall pass. The only question is, does this pass in less than 4 months? Or does it take more than 4 years? And the answer to that question will be decided by all of us, and our neighbors and our fellow Americans will decide that question. And it is wonderful to see now the engagement, the excitement, the hope for the future, and what we can do to preserve our planet, to provide safety for our kids in their classrooms for gun violence, what we can do to restore reproductive freedom and continue to grow our freedoms and help grow democracy around the world. help Ukraine and other allies defend themselves against those who would use military force to remake the map of their region. This is all in our hands. And I'm so grateful to all of you for turning out tonight. I'm so grateful for all you're doing now, your generosity, for your willingness to volunteer and get involved. We are going to get through this. We are going to get through this. And thank you for your part in making that happen. Thanks, dudes. And a special shout out to Jeff Bridges. As you can tell, I'm a fan of the Big Lebowski here. And Jeff, I thought your comments really tied the whole conversation together. Have a great night, everybody.